Hi you guys, welcome back. Long time no see. It has been a while since I posted on here, and I know I say this every single time, but I am determined to do something more consistently on this channel because I used to, and I don't know what happened to that. And I think what I realized is I need to get back to my roots, which is fully just sitting in front of the camera and talking to you guys and sharing things on Reddit. So today we're gonna do something very straightforward and something really fun that I love to watch, so hopefully you guys will like to watch, which is reading Am I the Assholes on Reddit. I picked 4 random stories. I've only read the titles, so I have no idea what we're going into. I'm going to tell you based on the title whether I think they are the asshole. We're going to read it together, and then we will discuss afterwards. So, without further ado, let's jump right in. One of my favorite things to do is just go on Reddit and scroll. It really takes me back to the early 2000s, you know what I mean? Okay, the first one is actually not Am I the Asshole? It's Would I Be the Asshole? First one we got, Would I be the asshole if I told my grandmother she killed my grandfather? Okay, going based off that title alone, I feel like, yeah, like, I would think that would really hurt your grandmother. I think that would hurt anybody if you're like, yeah, it's your fault that this person died. I think that would hurt their feelings. So I'm going to say yes, because I feel like there's not a good way to go about that. But let's read and let's find out. Already I'm so confused. The first line of this is my 21 female grandfather. So I'm guessing this user is a 21 female. Okay, yes. So my grandfather passed this last Thursday. I was incredibly close with him. He was the only person on my mom's side of the family that saw me, that didn't try to turn me into someone else. He was everything to me. When I became an adult, I was finally able to spend more time with him. I was able to make my own decisions. So these last couple years, I've been traveling to see my grandpa every few weeks or so to go four-wheeling or just to watch movies. I have never been close to my grandmother. She was always mean to me. Mean in a way where you can't outright call them out for it. Mean in a way where you don't realize how mean it is until you can't sleep at night from crying. She's always been mean to my mom, too. I'm very protective of my mom. My grandmother is what we call a covert narcissist. She cannot accept wrongdoing. Everything is a slight against her. Everything is someone else's fault. Raise your hand if you know other people like that. Hey! She was abusive to my grandfather. She would nag him about everything. What is important for this story is that she would yell at him, guilt him, and insult him every time he went to the doctor. No one was allowed to be sick except her. No one could take the attention away from her. He got a steroid shot in his legs when he was in crippling pain, and she yelled at him for days, so he stopped going to the doctor. What can you expect an old man to do when nothing he does is right? Okay, I'm feeling like, you know, my opinions are starting to sway. Okay. The day before he died, I suggested we plan a trip to go four-wheeling. He texted back that he wasn't feeling well and that something was wrong. He never tells me he's in pain. Never. I should have known then. The next day, I was woken up at 4 a.m. that he was being life-flighted to a hospital near me. So me and my mom instantly got picked up and went over. It was hours. They were about to take him to the ICU when I heard a code blue. My mom knew it was him, but I didn't accept it. Eventually, we had to make the call to decide if they should continue to save him, but it was clear by the doctor's faces that it wasn't going to be enough. We let him go. I was livid when I found out the pain started on Monday. He had a heart attack on Monday, and he wouldn't go to the doctor. She knew that he was in pain and didn't take him. He couldn't go without her being belligerent towards him, so he didn't go. He could have been just fine with a couple stints in his heart. She legitimately nagged him to death. I'm mad. She killed him. But here she is soaking up all this attention and talking shit about him. She's talking shit about him even when he's dead. I have never hated a person more. Would I be the asshole if I told her? If I told her straight up that she killed my grandfather? Wow. Wow. I don't know, you guys. This is a hard one because, one, I'm like, oh, that's just such an awful thing to say to someone. Like, it would be really hard. I feel like, I don't know if that would bring you more peace or not to, like, say that to somebody, because at the same time, it's just, like, it's coming from a place of just so much anger, which I understand, which is valid anger, because if all this is true and she really is a narcissist and did all that stuff, yeah, like, that's super valid, and obviously that's not someone you want around. I don't think that this person would be an asshole for saying that. I think that it would maybe further the pain. I don't know if it would bring any healing, really. I think that it could just, like, add more anger and resentment to the situation, but of course, like, that's just my opinion, and there is an edit to this, so let's see. So when someone adds an edit, it's usually because they looked at the responses and wanted to add to it, so this is what she has added to this. I won't be telling her. Okay. With him gone, I really don't need to be a part of that family anymore. Period. Exactly. He was abused emotionally, socially, financially, every way but physical. He's free now. I don't need to exact revenge. The best revenge is just not letting her affect me anymore. Yes. Yeah, 100%. That's what it is. I guess in a morbid way, him dying freed me as well. Oh, that is so sad. Okay, no, you wouldn't be the asshole at all for telling her off. I take it all back. I think that what this Redditor came up with at the end, the solution to not tell her, I do think that is the better solution, because you're not adding more power to her. Like, I feel like by yelling at a narcissist and saying, like, you hurt me, you did all these things, you're almost giving them more power to hold over you. because they're gonna, in a way, like, turn and make it about them. So I do think that this was the best solution to it. However, I don't think that they would be the asshole, and that's my final decision for that. Moving on to the next one. Here we go. Am I the asshole for making my girlfriend leave the country? Right away, I'm gonna say yes. I don't know. I just have a feeling. I'm gonna say yeah, because I feel like that is a choice in title. So we'll see. This is my first time posting on Reddit, so forgive my errors or if the format is weird. I also can't give too many details as my girlfriend and a lot of close friends are avid Redditors. I, 28 male, have been dating my girlfriend, 27 female, for 5 years. We met in college where she was an international student. Okay. She started working after graduating while I'm currently doing a master's. Her company was sponsoring her visa until they got bought out and she got laid off. She was given a limited time to find a new employer to sponsor her a new visa, and it really stressed her out. She was applying to jobs every day and did a lot of interviews, but unfortunately wasn't able to get an offer. She really wanted to stay since she loves the place and I would still be here in the country. While I was out with a buddy, he suggested that I sponsor her visa since we have been in a relationship for quite some time. I love her and I didn't want to see her so stressed out, so I told her about the idea. She was hesitant at first. She said she didn't want me to think that she was with me so I could be her way to a permanent resident citizenship to the country. I wanted her to stay and I wanted to do it. We consulted an immigration consultant and decided to do the paperwork on our own. She was the one who mostly looked into the stuff we needed to prepare. She still applied for jobs, but not as urgently as she used to. It took a while since we never really had anything joint. We lived together and just split the bills on our own. She had enough saved up to be okay for a while. Okay, so far I'm like, he seems like he's trying to help her out. I don't see anything crazy yet. I had to fill out some paperwork to be her sponsor, and I felt uneasy about it. I did want her to stay, but I felt like it was too much. Okay, wait. Eventually, she was done with her part, and all that was left was mine. I finally told her that I didn't want to go through with it. What? Was this literally not his idea in the first place? He was very upset and asked why, obviously. I told her that I suggested the idea because I didn't want to see her stressed out all the time, and that I eventually realized that I shouldn't have to be responsible for her. What? We had a long talk where I told her that I still want to be in a relationship with her, but I just don't want to be forced to be responsible for her. She said she felt very hurt by what I said. Asshole, he is the asshole. There's like no coming back from that. Things changed and she didn't really talk to me after. She kept applying for jobs and attending interviews, but eventually her visa expired. Before she left, I told her I love her and that I would really want her to come back. However, she told me that she sees me differently after the things I told her. It has been a few weeks since she left. I miss her cooking. Okay. I hate that. The first thing he lists that he misses about her is her cooking. Her presence and being able to spend time with her. I still want a future with her. However, our close friends have been telling me that I was the asshole. I disagree and I think they are biased. So here I am asking what Reddit thinks. Oh my gosh. There's literally no way that this person legitimately sat down and wrote this and thought, no, I'm totally in the right here. This is like peak am I the asshole. What do you mean? You suggested the idea to your girlfriend because she was working hard trying to get a visa on her own and then you sat down, brought this idea to her. I guess to play devil's advocate for like a split second, the friend suggested it to him, but he didn't have to bring it up to his girlfriend. He chose to bring that up to her. No, she did all the work. She did everything she needed to do. And then as soon as it was his turn to do something, he was like, actually, never mind. I think that's so crazy for also to him to be like, no, I don't want to do this extra work because I don't want to be responsible for you, but I still want you to stay. I still want you to be here. And I could probably fix this problem for you, but actually I'm not going to do that. And also I miss your cooking. Yeah, so you're the asshole. And there's actually an edit to this one as well. So let's see what the edit is. Edit. I read through a lot of comments and everyone seems to think I'm the asshole here. Oh, I wonder why. Those asking what my responsibilities would be, I would have to be financially responsible for her for 3 years. If she gets any government assistance or social welfare, I would have to pay it back. I also can't sponsor anyone else until the 3 years have passed. Okay, but who else would you be sponsoring? Like, another girlfriend? Like, I don't understand. Also, I listed what I miss about her in no particular order. I listed that I miss her cooking first, but it doesn't mean I don't miss her. I'm so glad that other people called him out on that because that was the first thing that I clocked as well. To the people who said I'm probably an immigrant too, what does that have to do with anything? My parents moved to where we are now, so here I am. I will stand by what I said. No one I know has to do anything like this. It just doesn't feel normal. I would want to eventually have a home with her, but I don't think that anyone should have to be responsible for another person's decisions or their circumstances. It's just gaslighting if you convince someone that they should be. I don't know if anyone will see this edit since it's been a few days. I have updates, so I'll probably do a separate post about them when I have the time. Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, this guy is the asshole. This guy is the asshole, 100%. I think even just like in his edit, you can see it. He's not taking any accountability because obviously there were people who came and were like, yeah, you're the asshole, dude. Like, this is not okay. And this edit is not being like, you know what? I've thought about it. Maybe I was in the wrong. It's like, no, I'm standing on what I said. I'm not the asshole. So this is someone who doesn't want to do any inner work, obviously. Okay, moving on. Next up we have, am I the asshole for eating a croissant in a cemetery? This is a very short one. I'm going to say no on this one. I have maybe a controversial opinion. I don't know if like this is cancelable. I don't think it is. I personally really love just sitting in cemeteries. I don't think it's disrespectful if you're being respectful about it. I think if you're like running around screaming, like destroying, making a mess, trashing the place, yeah, like that's not okay. But I think that cemeteries are very, very peaceful. I think that there's a lot of people there who don't have family to visit them. And I think if you're just going and you're sitting and you're embracing the environment, like it's okay to just sit in a cemetery because it really is a very calming place. So I'm going to say no. But let's see. I had a doctor's appointment today, and they told me not to eat or drink anything before it. Once I got out, I was starving and pretty thirsty, so I went to a supermarket, grabbed a croissant and a bottle of store-brand cola, and went to look for somewhere to sit down. The nearest spot I could find that wasn't directly by a busy road was a cemetery, so I went in, walked to some benches, and sat down. I had almost finished eating when a woman, maybe in her 70s, walked past me and asked who I was visiting if I didn't mind the question. I said I was just eating somewhere quiet, which surprised her. She then told me I should be ashamed to be so disrespectful and left. I finished eating and drinking before leaving. I can see where she was coming from, and it's possible she was grieving and looking for solidarity, but also I was just eating and it was the closest spot. Yeah, I'm gonna say that's not an asshole thing to do. Yeah, no, this person is not the asshole, in my opinion. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think as long as you're being respectful, you're picking up after yourself, you're being quiet, there's nothing wrong with sitting in a cemetery. I don't know. I mean, cemeteries are public spaces, and I think the biggest thing is just like, yeah, being quiet and being respectful, not littering. I'm going to say this person's not the asshole. So far we have one very mega asshole and two not assholes. So let's see what we get for this last one. This one is a little bit longer. Am I the asshole for talking to one of my friends inappropriately according to my girlfriend? Just based on the title alone, I'm feeling like I'm going to go asshole. However, like, I don't know what inappropriately means. So I guess let's find out. So I have this friend I knew in college. We haven't really been in touch in person in a while, but we started hanging out gaming together online over the past year or so. I'm 26 male, she's 25 female, and my girlfriend is 26 female. We mostly talk through voice chat when we game, but we also text. Mostly to schedule stuff, share memes, etc. But recently we've been talking about more personal things and becoming closer as friends. I didn't see it as an issue as it's platonic and we live in different states anyway. So it's not like any cheating could even happen. If I were that kind of guy, which I'm not. Okay. My friend also knows I have a girlfriend, of course, and she was in a relationship for most of our friendship, but is recently single. I don't really want to go into everything that was actually said between us. Okay, suspicious maybe. But basically, my girlfriend read some of our chats recently. I let her because she didn't like some of the stuff she overheard in our voice chats. It's mostly just jokes and stuff, but she looked so appalled when she was going through the messages. Like she had her hand over her mouth and looked like she was in the mix of anger and wanting to cry. Oh. So of course I asked what was wrong and tried to talk about it, but she wasn't really telling me which specific messages bothered her for me to even address it. We did eventually talk about it, and she acted like I didn't even have the defensible position. She said some of the messages were so obviously sexually charged, and she doesn't trust me to ever be alone with this friend in person. Just to give one example of one of the messages in question, we were talking about an acting class we did together in college, and I said something like, "Not gonna lie, I barely had to do any acting there," and reference to a romantic scene we did together. Actually, what is wrong with these men? Okay. It was completely innocent, obviously. But my girlfriend didn't like the way I was talking to her. So for one, I don't think I was saying anything inappropriate. But secondly, am I the asshole for having a close friendship with a woman and saying things my girlfriend does think are inappropriate? If it wasn't clear, these allegedly inappropriate messages were mutual, and she had a lot of issues with what my friend was saying too. It's not that I plan to cheat with her, nor am I emotionally cheating. I fear you are the asshole. I think you are the asshole in this one. I'll go to the comments because this one doesn't have an update. I'm going to go to the comments and see what other people are saying, but I'm going to have to say he's the asshole. I think, first of all, if your girlfriend is coming to you and she's telling you that she has a problem with these messages, that should be it right there. You shouldn't be coming onto Reddit and being like, I don't know. Maybe am I the asshole? Because like your girlfriend is coming to you crying and saying, this really hurts me. I don't want you to be talking like this anymore. And instead of just saying like, yeah, okay, I won't talk like that anymore. You're just like, maybe there's nothing wrong here. Secondly, obviously those messages have something happening there. Talking about a romantic scene and saying, oh, I wasn't even really acting. Like, of course that's going to hurt your girlfriend's feelings because it implies that even if you don't feel a way now, you felt a way back then. And those feelings don't just magically go away, especially if you guys are talking about really personal things and this friend has just recently gotten out of a relationship. I think I would also feel very uncomfortable. So yeah, I'm gonna say you're the asshole. And maybe listen to your girlfriend when she tells you things are hurting her. Let's go to the comments and see what the comments have to say. Bro's literally having a full-on emotional affair with this girl and is surprised his actual girlfriend has an issue with it. Literally. You were literally flirting with her. Yes. And he replied to that and said, I wasn't. Yes, you were. Seriously, you're the asshole. You don't want to share the majority of the messages. If they are as bad as your example, your girlfriend has a right to be upset. That's so true. The fact that like he doesn't want to give us the majority of them, but is sharing this one that already is pretty bad. If that's the one he's choosing to share, the rest are worse. Yeah. So we have 2 that were not an asshole, 2 that I think were an asshole. And so just to break it up, we're going to do one more. I've decided we're going to do one more just to see what wins this round. So I'm just going to choose a random one. Okay, last one. Here we go. Am I the asshole for being upset after my boyfriend, 22 male, backed out of taking me, 21 female, to the airport six days before my flight? I could see this one being a little controversial because there are people out there who don't think that taking people to the airport or picking them up is like a thing you should be doing. I've always operated from a place that like if I care about you, I don't care how far the airport is. I'm picking you up. I am dropping you off. I've driven like 2 hours to pick up a friend from the airport because I was excited they were coming into town. I think that if someone's coming to visit me, and I care about you, I will be taking you to the airport. So I'm gonna say that you're not the asshole for being upset about this, but let's see. My boyfriend and I have been together for a little over 2 years. 2 months ago, I planned a trip to visit my long-distance best friend. My flight leaves very early in the morning, and I live about 2 hours from the airport. Okay, 2 hours is far. Yeah, that's fair. My boyfriend's hometown is where the airport I am flying out of is. Oh, so he lives where the airport is. Wait. About 3 weeks ago, he offered that I could drive to his parents' house the night before, and he would take me to the airport early in the morning so I wouldn't have to leave at 2 a.m., pay for airport parking, or get a hotel. I told him I was super grateful and it would help me out a ton, but if anything changed, I need to know at least 2 weeks in advance so I can make other plans. That's totally fair. That's totally fair. For context, he also has a vacation planned with his friends the week before my trip. He originally told me the trip was March 9th to the 13th. Last night on the phone, he mentioned that most of his friends actually aren't arriving until Thursday or Friday, which is when I would be going to his hometown for my flight. I began to read the room of what this meant, and soon after led to him admitting he probably wouldn't be able to take me to the airport anymore because he wanted to stay longer. Okay, I already have an issue with that because she had to like get him to say it. He was kind of like implying it, but not actually just saying it. That, yeah. Another issue is that he told me to ship some items for my trip to his parents' house because packages arrive there quicker than where I live. Now that I'm not staying there, I have several items delivered there that I'll need to figure out how to get or don't get at all. He told me about this yesterday, 6 days before my flight. When I said I wished I had known earlier so I could have planned differently, he said I was making him feel guilty for not cutting his trip short and that I make him scared to tell me things because of how I react. Oh! Girl, you're not in the wrong. You're not in the wrong for that. Yeah, no, I hate that. That is such a classic manipulation tactic. Saying, oh, I feel like I have to walk on eggshells around you. I feel like I can't tell you exactly how I feel. Shut up. Shut up. The next morning today, he texted saying he slept on it and decided he would drive me after all. But because he didn't want to start his vacation feeling like I was upset with him or that I would hold it over his head. At this point, I'd almost rather just drive myself because I don't want him to feel like I'm forcing him to help. For some additional context, he has a history of being flaky with plans, which is part of why the situation upset me more than it might have otherwise. It feels like a final straw. Am I the asshole for being upset about how the situation played out? No, she's not the asshole. Standing by it, standing 10 toes down. I think the fact that you told him in advance, like, hey, if the plans change, like, just, I'm okay with that. Let me know. Just, I would like to know 2 weeks in advance so I can make plans. I think that's so valid. It wasn't like you were pigeonholing him into this one situation. Like, you have to take me to the airport. You have to. He offered. You said, okay, that's awesome. I'm super grateful. Just let me know if you can't. And then last minute, him changing his mind because he wants to hang out with his friends longer is just, no! And I hate the fact that he was like, I feel like I can't tell you things. That is, yeah, no. Not the asshole. She's not the asshole. He is. So our final ranking was we have 3 not assholes, 2 very big assholes, and I feel pretty happy with that. The not assholes have won today. I hope you guys enjoyed that, because I did. That was really fun. I love hearing other people's drama. It's just like eavesdropping in a diner and like getting to sprinkle and then talk to your friends about it and be like, oh my gosh, Reddit is like eavesdropping in a diner for people who don't leave their house. And I'm talking about myself, okay? If you guys enjoyed that, like, subscribe, leave a comment, let me know, and hopefully I will be back doing this soon. No, I will be back doing this soon because this was really fun. And love you guys. See you later.